Thank you for listening to the Golden Hour Drip podcast with me, Logan Lee Miller. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Golden Hour Drip podcast. I'm your host, Logan Lee Miller, and I am a whole year older. Last time we talked, well, I guess I did talk to you on Friday, but official. Our girl is 26, and I guess it might not have like officially set in properly. I feel like my Friday episodes, I don't get to give like a huge update because it is a shorty episode, so it's Ask the Gals, and it's not necessarily like about me, but about you. So this is the first episode that I feel officially, 26. It's been so good. This weekend was crazy busy. And as I was doing a gut check with myself, thinking, all right, like, where are we doing good? Where are we stressed? Like, do we have too much on our plate? Because I had a lot going on this past week. And what I noticed was I was like not stressed. Like there was one moment where I was like trying to cook chicken and I was like, oh gosh, like I have friends coming over and the chicken, like, is it done? Is it not done? I hate it when chicken like is I don't know. Sometimes like chicken icks me out. I don't know why, but overall I was feeling so centered and so good. And I wouldn't say not normally, but in the past, like there are definitely like moments in my life where I felt like a little bit rambunctious. I felt like I didn't have a handle on things. I felt like I needed to, regroup or have enough more time. I was feeling stressed. Maybe I was, not my best person because I was feeling stressed. And when I look back at those times, I'm like, the problem, like the common denominator, was I didn't have very good time management. Now, my time management was okay. It wasn't amazing, but it was okay. I got things done, and I know that I have to learn in order to like be able to pivot and do things differently. I have to like learn by experience, right? Like people can tell you all the time, oh gosh, like you need to do it this way or you need to learn time management. But ultimately, like the experiences we have are going to be the best teachers. And so whenever I think, oh gosh, like I'm going through this really stressful time or this time where things aren't going my way, I know retrospectively that it is going to be a period of growth. We don't do the most growth when everything is going well and we're feeling so good and it's just like so much ease. But ease is also good. Like I don't think that in order to be like productive or, moving the needle, you have to like not have ease. But in the aspect of like sometimes it's going to be a little painful in order to grow, in order to move forward, and that's okay. But when I look back at those moments, I'm like, I was trying to do too much. And I feel like that is like very common. I'm just like trying to fit everything in all the time. And while I was preparing for my birthday dinner, I had a couple friends over. And one of my things that I've been working on for quite some time now, like over, oh my gosh, like it's been like 8 to 10 months that I've been like really working on conversation cards. And I made my first edition of my conversation cards, and it's completely like homemade. I just wanted to like get it out. And I've been like working on my questions and like practicing with Garrett and like trying the questions out on him. And I wanted to have my very closest friends try them out. So I wanted to get them done. And on my actual birthday, I like stayed up super, super late. I was typing the questions, finding the dimensions. By Thursday, I like had it printed out. And then Friday, I was waiting on Amazon to come with my little like edge clippers. And then I bought a laminator. Like it was all these things. And I asked myself, I was like, okay, like I am planning a meal for my friends. I have a meetup this weekend. It's also Mother's Day weekend. It's also my grandmother's 80th birthday. My mom is coming down for, Mother's Day, my birthday, and also another reason. And then, Garrett's birthday is on Monday. So when this episode comes out, it's Garrett's birthday. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, like I have so much going on. There's like, am I pushing the limits? Am I, stressing myself out for no reason? Should I put this project to the back burner? And I was thinking, you know what? Like, actually, I feel like I have a really, really good handle on things. And I truly believe it's because of my time management and because I have found a routine, a system that works for me. I'm having enough time where I'm like pouring into myself, but also like having the times where it's like productive. We have to work and get it finished, get it completed, so then we can have fun or we can do something else. And I will say, like, nobody likes to get older, right? Like, nobody wants to age. Everyone does want to stay young forever, or at least like, to the fact of like their body works and like they have energy and like all those great amazing things. But to say that, like, I am pretty grateful for the age that I'm at, and I'm grateful for the things that I've learned, because if I would have tried to do all the things that I did this past week at a younger age, I don't think that I would have done it as good. Like, I think I would have been stressed, and I think I would have put so much expectation on the outcome, and then when it didn't turn out how I wanted, I probably would have had a meltdown. Because, and not a meltdown as in like lashing out to other people, but essentially like a meltdown like in my mind, like a meltdown of, oh my gosh, like I wanted to be a certain way and it's not the certain way, and it's ruined. And then feeling like I couldn't actually enjoy myself because I was so irritated or grumpy or like unhappy with how it turned out. And I was thinking, oh gosh, like I've gotten to a place finally where I don't hold so tightly to the expectation. It's more of like a general idea. Like, I would love to be with my friends and my family, near my birthday. I would love to be able to sleep in on my birthday, or be able to have a restful night. And I would say, like, going to bed early, I would have said that, but for the past couple nights, like, we have been going to bed so late, like so late. I'm talking like midnight. When I was working on my conversation cards, it was like 3 a.m. I was like typing those bad boys up, and it was hectic. It was crazy. And I think to myself, oh, like I pulled energy from my reserves, right? But I wouldn't have had the capacity to pull from those reserves if I hadn't really focused on how I was spending my time and energy before, like setting myself up for success, setting myself up for total completeness, like having a to-do list. And also like the prep that goes into it is also so good. And I'll get more into it throughout the episode, but I'm feeling 1 year older. I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling so just like centered and amazing. So let's move on to the peak of my week. And it's hard to find a peak, right? Because it was such a great week. It was my birthday. Like, that's exciting. Like, all eyes on me. Thank you very much. But the peak is actually a gift that I received from my mom, and it is not your traditional gift. I have been kind of like asking for it for the last couple of years, but the timelines were never right. I've been busy the last couple Mays, and I just haven't got it completed. So Garrett and I have lived in this house. Oh gosh, this will be our third summer, which is amazing. And my mom still lives in my middle school to high school. So I want to say childhood home. We moved around a lot growing up. My dad has stayed in the same spot. And for the last 10 plus years, my mom has stayed in the same spot as well. So it's hard because I have like so many memories tied to this place. So it's like my high school hometown home. I don't know what you would call it, but where my mom lives. And she has this huge lilac bush. Okay. It is massive. And, it has like so many memories like associated with this lilac bush. I remember like Lily was like, ooh, like I want to say 7, 8, 9, 10. Like she was not very old. And we were just like in the driveway. And mom's like, oh, you can drive the van up like just a little bit, you know. And my stepdad was right next to her, and he's like, push the pedal, Lily. And the rest of us siblings were in the back, and so we're going up a little bit, and Lily ends up like pressing the gas instead of the brake because she's so young. The door is open, like it's supposed to be like safe, but it's not. Nobody got her. Everything was fine, but she ended up like running into some of the lilac limbs, and all of us siblings, of course, because we're a little bit older, like 15, no, older than 15, I don't know, we're in the back, we're like, oh my gosh, Lily, you can't, like, so she wrecked into the lilac bush. My mom has like a little wheelbarrow and like a fairy garden underneath the branches. It's so fun, so cute, and it's massive. Like I said, it also, like when it has lilac shoots, smells so good, so amazing. And what I love about plants and love about horticulture and being able to graft plants or gift a plant to someone else. So I've been asking my mom, like, hey, like I want a part of your lilac bush. And it's massive. Like it literally, even if we hacked off like so much, because we do have to trim it like routinely, even if we like hacked off half of it, like it would still be so big, so massive. And so I was like, I would like some of the lilac limbs, like any shoots that come up, like I want them. And for the last couple of years, 3 years now, of Garrett and I living in this house, I haven't made it a priority. Other things took precedence, and it's just been like crazy. It's been busy. And this year, my mom, I reminded her like in March, I was like, hey, like, don't let me forget. I want some of your lilac. And she brought me a whole bucket full of shoots. I cannot wait to figure out where I'm putting them in my yard. I just think that they smell so good. I hope it grows super, super fast, because lilac lemonade is literally the bomb. It is so good. And I think a lilac bush is just really beautiful, really pretty. And I cannot wait until it grows. So that was like my peak, getting a lilac bush or the shoots or whatever, and wanting this for so many years and being able to finally get it. It was like, heck yes, thank you so much. Now, the pit of the week. It's hard to have like a pit because of my birthday. Like it was a really amazing, perfect time. However, okay. So as I'm taking inventory of my time and how I'm spending my time and what I'm doing, I put a poll out, if you will. I had a Golden Gal Network meetup for a baseball game, and it's sold out, and it sold out pretty quickly. It sold out in April. I only had like a limited amount of tickets, so it was pretty quick to sell out. And I pulled the audience. I said, hey guys, like, do you want a second meetup in May? We have our book club at the end of the month. But do you want to try and have another meetup? And lots of people wanted a meetup. And I was like, okay, like, can I fit this in? Because essentially, like, there's not enough weekends in May for it all to work, with Mother's Day and my birthday. And then we had the baseball game. And then the 1st of the May, so last week, I was in Austin, Texas. And then the week after that, it's basically Memorial Day. Like, it's a lot. It's crazy. And I was trying to like make it all work. And I thought to myself, you know what, like, I can have a 9 a.m. Hot girl walking coffee situation, because I think it's really good to get outside, get some activity. Of course, I love coffee, and to have a little bevy in my hand. And I set it up, and I will say, like, I do research before my meetup. I check the location, I check the area. And usually I'm able to go to the location of the meetup before I post about it, before I make it a plan. But because I was finishing yoga teacher training at the end of April, and then I went straight to Austin, Texas, I wasn't able to actually like physically get to the coffee spot. And I that was like that's the first problem with this meetup. It went great though. I will say it went great. It was fun. Um, so I like put it out there. I was like, we're going to meet at Blip Roastery. And I thought that it was a bit closer to the Missouri River. I had it in my head where we could walk beside the Missouri River. I didn't realize where this coffee shop was located, and that's fine. So I get there 20 minutes early because like the prep work is so important. And I have just like had to tell myself, like, if we want to feel prepared, if we want to be centered, if we want to be present during our meetups, like we have to give enough time. This is for all of my events. Like this is going back to the time management thing that I was talking about. I have to give myself time. I have to like have it in my head that we are going to be leaving on time. Like I'm looking back last year when I was vlogging for the very first time, and I remember it was Adriana's bridal shower, and then I was going to Rachel's bachelorette like the same weekend, and I was running around and I was trying to do a gift. Like last summer taught me so much because I had like a bunch of weddings and a bunch of travel plans, and like I feel like I learned so much last year. And so I was thinking this time last year and going into June, because that was the like starting of all the events and all the things. But I I showed up early. I was like, I'm going to get there 20 minutes early. I'm not going to be rushed. I am the event host, so I want to make sure that I'm showing up on time. And as I get there, I realize this is in like an industrial part of Kansas City. Very industrial. And it is actually very, very close to a port. So it's not exactly like great for walking. And on top of that, there's a ton of construction. So in my head, I am not sure. Like I'm really nervous. I'm glad I got there early, but I got in my vehicle. I drove around. I was like, is there any way possible that we are able to like get to the water? And the bridge that I was imagining that we were going to walk on was closed due to construction. So I was like a bit nervous, but you know what? I I'm going to leave it up to the girls. So I get my coffee, and I was so tired this morning because the night before, Friday, I went out to eat with mom and my stepdad, and we went to get sushi and celebrate Garrett and I's birthday and celebrate my, Mother's Day. And we had a really, really great, amazing time. Got to chat with them, drive around, and we didn't end up going to bed until like 10, 11, 12 after like just a crazy week, staying up on my birthday until 3 o'clock. There was a tornado. Like it was actually, my sleep pattern has been horrible. This is a story inside a story. I am so sorry. Tuesday we had a tornado watch. And so oh my gosh, no. Backing it all the way up, Sunday I get home from the Dear Media podcast in real life event. Okay. My flight left at like 8:50. Okay. I land in Kansas City 10:30. I get home 11:40. Actually, no. I was in bed finally by 12:30. I don't know how all of it played out, but I didn't go to bed until 12:30. Super tired. Monday rolls around, and I think Monday I was just tired. I forget what happened Monday. There was a tornado warning, not a watch, a warning either Monday or Tuesday. And I want to say it's Monday night. And we got an alert at midnight on our phone. And so we went into our bathroom and we're sitting on the floor waiting for it to pass because that's the safest place in our home. And then Wednesday, I go bowling with my dad and brother and Garrett, and we go bowling, and it was great and it was fun. Caffeine does impact me as much as I love coffee, as much as I love having just a good cup. Caffeine does impact me. And that day I had a cup of coffee at home. And then because I took Wednesday off, it was so nice. I went shopping. But Wednesday I went and grabbed a cup of coffee for my birthday. I got a free, cup of coffee for my birthday. So I had that caffeine, and then we go to the bowling alley, and I accidentally asked for a Dr. Pepper instead of a root beer. Usually I don't drink soda. I drink like bubbly, or I drink poppies or Ollipops, like anything like that. But it was such like a nostalgic feeling. I kind of wanted one. And I was like, oh, can you get me a Dr. Pepper? But I meant a root beer. Okay. And Dr. Pepper has caffeine in it. And I was up all night. So on top of the 2 coffees I had that day and the soda with more caffeine, I like stayed up all night on my birthday. Thursday, I think I finally slept. Thursday was nice. Thursday, I slept in. Friday, stayed up super late with my mom and stepdad. And here I have to wake up for this meetup. So I'm feeling exhausted. I'm praying that they have good coffee. And also like when I have my meetup, like I'm telling everybody, meet me here, like meet me at this place. So if it doesn't work, like that's on me. Like that's a bad situation. And I would have been able to go to the venue like I normally do, but it was just a different circumstance. So I get there, I'm driving around, I'm trying to figure out where we're going to walk, and I just decided we're going to walk around the block and that will be fine. I go in, I get my coffee. It was great coffee. It was a little biker coffee spot. It was really perfect, really amazing, beautiful, stunning. Okay. So I'm waiting for the girls, and slowly they trickle in. All of these wonderful young ladies. We had a meetup of 6. It was great. I did have one girl cancel. So I said 6 brand new girls. That was amazing. That was a peak. Now, we get our coffee, we're all chatting, we're having a great time. We go and we walk outside, and we're going under this underpass, and we're walking, and it's actually like kind of beautiful here. And as I'm talking to one of these girls, I feel like a mother duck with all my little ducklings behind me. And I'm looking ahead of me, and I see a individual who is not dressed great. This individual may not have a home and may have been on some sort of drug, or might be, tipsy, drunk, whatever. I immediately, like as a woman, you are just so aware of all your surroundings, like everything, right? And of course, like because I have all these women, I am like hyper aware. And I'm walking, but I'm like paying such attention. I'm like, okay, he's pretty far away, probably 100 yards. And as we're walking, I'm just like keeping my eyes on him. And you get that like feeling like, oh gosh, like he might do something. He like, readjusted himself in the front. And I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Like, please do not show me anything, right? And he turns to the side and stops. And I said, great. Please don't talk to us. Like in my head, I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, this is bad. What am I going to do? What if he runs up after us? Like just as a woman, like you think about these things constantly, right? And they go and lift up their shirt, and I can see the entire backside of this individual. So probably like a good chunk of his butt, like full butt, no underwear, like just booty. And I'm like, oh no, like this little scrawny white butt, like, oh gosh, girls. And I'm nervous. What if he turns around? Like I am so nervous, and I'm like trying to be aware. Like it's just, it's a bad situation, right? But the individual, luckily, I think this person saw of all of us coming and thought maybe their pants were falling down. And so when he lifted up his shirt and we saw his backside, then he is like pulled up his pants and then pulled down his shirt. But it was just like so weird that like, I don't know, like we didn't see anything. Like if he would have just continued walking, we wouldn't have seen anything. But because he tried to readjust his pants, we saw his whole backside. Luckily, it was just the backside, not the front side. But I honestly, like, I was like, all right, girls, let's go. Like, come on, and it was just such a nerve-wracking situation. I was like, gosh, Logan, I will never do this again. I am absolutely always going to like look at the area beforehand. And because I've been so busy and time management is so important. I was like, gosh, never again. I will vet this place. But it's so hard because I want to go places that we haven't gone to before or that do look exciting, that do look like a good spot of a fun place to be. And I was just like, dang it. Like, but honestly, it was a pretty quick interaction. It was like probably a minute 30 or 2 minutes. It was quickly, we moved on. Like, it was fine. He didn't rush at us. He didn't do anything like that. So I am so grateful. But you just never know. Like, it is completely nerve wracking to think, oh my gosh, like, what is this person going to do? Like, are they going to run up? Like, it is not a vibe. And luckily, like, nobody else really noticed it. The girl that was standing right next to me, like, we were both very aware because I stopped telling my story. I was like, hey, like, sorry. Do you see that guy? I'm just like trying to be aware of the surroundings and what we're doing. And that has got to be my pit. I was like, you're kidding me. Like, but the coffee was good and the conversation was even better. Like, it was one of the, like, I don't know, they just get so good each and every time I have a meetup. And all of these girls were completely brand new. They were so sweet and so kind. And we had just like so many good stories. And we ended up, so we got coffee in the coffee spot and we had sat and we waited. There was one last girl that I knew would probably still show up. And we chatted in there and then we headed out and then we went around the block, got some energy. It was a beautiful day. We sat on their back patio, we soaked up the sun. Then we realized we were getting roasted, so we went back inside and we just like didn't want to stop talking, you know, like we didn't want to stop the conversation. And I was on a time limit though. I had to leave because of my grandma Colleen's birthday party. She turned 80 this last year. Or I'm sorry. She is turning 80. Her actual birthday is Memorial Day week. It's like that weekend. And this was the time that worked best for the rest of my family members. So we had a surprise birthday party actually for her. So she didn't even know. And we had to be there, you know, early. We had to set up and do all the things. So I was like, okay, like we gotta go. And I wanted the conversation to continue with the girls. It was just, it was so good. And the coffee was great. I did finally like perk up, I will say, like after chugging it down. And here's the thing. I have not gotten coffee for our home for about 2 weeks because I went and saw Lily and then I went to Austin. Like, and I didn't go proper grocery shopping this past week. And I bought 3 different bags from a coffee shop in Cedar Rapids. And I was like, okay, we have these. I just need a grinder to grind them. And I knew my mother-in-law was gifting us a coffee grinder for our birthday. So I had the whole beans. I just need to now grind them. So I was waiting and I didn't want to buy more coffee because I just needed to wait out 1 week. Then we would have the coffee grinder. Then we would be able to grind the beans that we already have and not have like a surplus of coffee that we weren't going to be able to drink out of or drink all. And I am actually very glad that I did tough it out though, because we got gifted a coffee grinder and then a variety of beans. I'm so excited to try them. I think it's going to be so fun to sample and try. And also it like expands our options because before I was just going to a grocery store that had messenger and roastery beans and they had a grinder in store. So I just threw the bag in, was able to grind them. So it was fresh coffee for my espresso machine, but now it's going to be even better because I can do it at home and I don't have to have like this huge, okay, like I have to make it to the store. I have to grind it. Like I have a grinder. It's with ease. I can even like order beans from all over, from different roasteries, try them all. Like I actually am so excited. It is a pretty amazing birthday gift to have a grinder because that's just something I didn't have. But I wasn't able to make coffee for myself that morning because one, I knew I was about to get coffee, but two, we were out of coffee grounds, and the little that we did have, Garrett needs to use, right? Like he wasn't going anywhere. He wasn't getting coffee. So it was just, it was a situation. Hey, I hope that you're enjoying today's podcast episode. Just a quick interruption to let you know that Golden Hour Drip has a weekly newsletter that comes out. This has bonus content, weekly updates, and future event information. If you haven't already, go down to the show notes, click the link, and join today. Now, back to the show. I just know my coffee experiments are going to be way more intense now that we have a coffee grinder. And I have so many plans on trying different like coffee concoctions. I refer to them as like experiments because I am literally testing my hypothesis. Like, will this work? Is it going to taste good or is it going to be bad? Like I'm always working on my personal recipe book and trying to figure out things, whether it's my jams or my pies or my pie crust or like any of the things I like to bake or do. And something that has been on my mind for the last couple months is a strawberry cold foam coffee. I don't know how I'm going to make it, but this past Sunday, after all of our festivities and all of our amazing fun things, I was able to, I had just like had this feeling. I was like, you know what? When was the last time okay, I don't have Facebook on my phone. I log into it like through an internet browser. It has saved me so much time. Like I don't scroll through it. I just feel like Facebook has a lot of ads and like none of my friends post. So like what am I even consuming? But some of the businesses here in the town that I live in, they only like post through Facebook. And I like went and checked. I was like, when are the strawberry patches going to be open? And guess what? They were open. We were about to get home. And it was like 30 minutes before they opened. And it was like, come pick strawberries at 2:00. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to pick strawberries because I've been thinking of this like coffee cold foam with strawberry puree. Like I just think it would be so good. And I last year did not get to jam any strawberries, and I was really sad, honestly. It just wasn't a very good year for strawberries last year, and I was like, this year I'm going to get strawberries. So although we spent the entire morning with Garrett's mom and the night before, we had my grandma's birthday party and I had friends over, like it was just like such a jam-packed weekend, seeing my mom, seeing my other grandma, like it was so busy. And I was feeling super exhausted on Sunday, and I was just thinking I need to go to sleep. Like as we were driving home, we went to brunch, we went and walked around a couple stores. It wears you out, like you get tired, and I was tired. But as soon as I thought to myself, oh, like when are strawberries open? And they said at 2 p.m. And last year I did not get any strawberries. I knew I was making the commitment to myself. I was going and I was going to get strawberries. So I changed clothes. I went out to the strawberry patch. And when I got there 5 minutes before 2:00, I parked my vehicle. And as I get up there, there is loads of people just like walking to the patch. So they were like holding them, and then as soon as they were done, they were like walking up. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, like I need to get in line, I need to get up there. I was probably like person number 20, 21, 25, I don't know. As we're standing there, I see hordes of people coming behind us because of course it was Mother's Day. Like take your mother to the You Pick strawberry patch. Like it was really cute. It would have been a great idea. Personally, I'm not a mother, but it would have been awesome to have like your little kids. Like that's such a cute, sweet memory. And of course I had already hung out with my mother-in-law and my mom and my grandma. So, I was good on all spectrums and I needed some quiet time to myself. Now, would I have preferred a nap? Absolutely. Like, I definitely wanted a nap this weekend, and that's not something that I got, but I was able to pick strawberries. I picked 13 pounds of strawberries, and I cannot wait for this coffee strawberry cold foam situation. Personally, like, I really like a hot cup of coffee. And that sounds weird because I used to be such a iced coffee girly, but like I don't know, the latte is just so good. And because I work from home, like I don't have to be like in a hot office, or I'm in the comfort of my home. So and usually when I wake up, like I have my robe on, like it's a little cold. I'm opening up the windows. It's the crisp morning air. Like it's very like chill coated. So I can have my coffee. But for the strawberry, it's going to have to be iced to be, sitting on top. Of course, I'll stir it around. But I have super, super exciting big news. My focus this year is like curating our home. I've said this for the last couple of years. It is very hard for me. Hold on. It used to be very hard for me to make a commitment and like just purchase the thing, or say, yes, that's what I'm wanting to do. That's the aesthetic. That's the vibe, and moving forward with it. Um, on my day off, I went shopping. Literally, my actual birthday, it was one of the best birthdays I've had in a very, very long time. Of course, like the joy of your birthdays as a kid is totally different. But it was a really, really good birthday. Last birthday, I feel like I had too much going on. I had just quit my job and it was just like hectic and crazy. And this year I felt more centered and balanced, and I woke up, and because I had slept so crappy, like the Monday night, Tuesday night, I really wanted to sleep good. And I woke up and I made myself coffee, and I recorded a podcast. I went to town. Like it was just like a very chill day. I went and bought pillows, and like I can't describe to you how amazing and perfect it was, because it was great. And as I am making my way to just like coordinate our home and make it feel inviting, I was it was just so joyful, honestly. And I can't get over that. Like it really was just a super relaxing day. So I felt like this past week I was able to still like get things done, but still have ease with it. So that's what I did. I was picking the strawberries and I was putting them in my basket, and it was like a quiet time, but so needed still, right? Like it was so needed. So I picked all the strawberries and I'm going to be making jam. I am not sure if I'm going to be able to get it all canned today or if I'm going to have to like freeze some. I also want to make a strawberry lemonade concentrate. My Rachel, Andrew's wife, one of my very, very, very good friends, her mom, Kristen, uh, had given me this strawberry lemonade concentrate last year. And it was so good. And I drink it literally so quick, like it was a little container. But I want to make some of the strawberries into a strawberry compound, because my exciting news is we have official made the commitment to we had patio furniture built for us. So hopefully I get to pick that up on Wednesday, and I'll be enjoying my iced coffee outside in comparison to like being inside and being a little cold. The days are warming up, like summer is coming. And so to be able to sit on my outside patio and drink either my iced coffee with strawberry cold foam, or to drink my like lemonade strawberry compound, like I am so excited. Honestly, I am welcoming like the late 20s of my life, and I kind of like forget, because in my head I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm almost 30, but I had to take like a pause and think, oh my gosh, like do we actually want to be like a younger age? if I think back to being 14 or 16 or 18, do I actually want to be 18? Do I just romanticize the age of it being like a smaller age and like not closer to 80? And 80, right? Like I talk about the 80 rule all the time. Like my grandmother literally turned 80, or will in a couple days, right? But we celebrated an 80th birthday. Like that is insane to me. Like I always think about the 80 rule and how it's, when I'm 80, and I'm like, she's literally going to be 80. Like she is 80. Like that is just insane. Garrett's grandfather just celebrated his 80th birthday. And I think to myself, like, do I just want a younger age because it's farther away from 80? Or like, did I actually truly enjoy that age? And no, like I was romanticizing it. I definitely like didn't feel super confident in myself or comfortable or knowledgeable or, feeling awkward. And now I might still feel like a little awkward, but I'm feeling like a bit better, right? Like I'm feeling more centered. Like centered is the word. Like it is, I feel more grounded than ever. And I know like this age, like I'm going to look at when I'm 30, oh my gosh, like what about when I was 25? And I think about like 20 to 25, and I think about the jobs that I had, the life experience that I picked up, and I just realized very quickly, like, if it's not going to match my standard, like, or if I'm unhappy with it, like I'm going to cut it out, because quite literally, I don't have the time and I don't have the energy to continue with it. And if it's not serving me in one way or another, I can no longer subscribe. Like, about a month ago, maybe I talked about it on the podcast. I downloaded Rocket Money. I was like, all right, let's get these finances in check. The holidays, everything like that can be so bothersome. And I, was deleting subscriptions and doing all those things. And I'm also like auditing my life in that way too. Like, what areas can I, cut back on? What can I dial in on? How can I take away from the things that don't serve me or I'm not excited about anymore? How can I funnel that time and that energy into a different area so that I have more time doing the things that I love instead of doing the things that don't fill me up or cause me dread or cause me any sort of anxiety or like just unfulfilling relationships or situations? And I think back to like those younger ages, I wouldn't have had the knowledge to do that. I wouldn't have had the confidence to do that at 21 to 25. And I think, my brain is developing even more. Like I thought it developed last year, but things are like clicking for me right now. Just like my conversation cards. I'm like, I need to get them out. I need to do them now. And it was something that I'd kind of been procrastinating or not even like doing as quick as I know that I could have, and just not like the reduction of procrastination has been insane. And I truly think that it's from my to-do list. Like I write out my day. I'm like, okay, 9 to 12. Like these are the emails that I need to answer to. These are the things that I need to get done. Even like I could say, okay, before 9, like I'm going to get these things done. But anything before 9 is like my non-negotiables, like my regular routine. I'm getting a coffee. I'm enjoying the outside. I am, getting dressed. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm doing something leisurely for myself before I set myself up for the workday. When I do sit down, and then even further than that, okay, it's 9 to 12. Like this is when actually I have to get needle moving materials or things done. And then, okay, 12 to 2, what am I doing? And 2 to 4, what am I doing? 5 to 7, what am I doing? And that has been just so impactful. And I've been doing that for the past couple weeks, and I'm like, wow, like I'm getting so much done. And maybe it was because I had yoga teacher training and I was spending 3 days where it was a super intensive moment of, okay, like this is what we're doing. It's gonna be like this amount of training and learning, and I just really optimized my time during that period because I still had to get all the other things done just in a shorter amount of time. I had to still get my podcast out. I still had to work, still clean my house, still get my dogs, like all those things that are on the to-do list. And just because I accepted a different, hobby, I guess, or commitment, didn't mean that like I couldn't not do any of the other things either. And I feel like the last 3 weeks I've kind of been taking like a bit of a break to recalibrate and moving forward. And especially because I had the to-do list of, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm moving forward. And a new notebook did that for me. And sometimes I think, oh, like, will a notebook actually fix me? And I got 3 new notebooks from Target. Actually, I got 4. I got one for my yoga, like what I was going to be doing, which postures. And then the second one was for my podcast because I had filled up. And then the third one was miscellaneous. Like you need a book that you can just like write things in. And then the fourth one was my to-do list. It was like, okay, just a pad of paper. It's like a menu. And I write down, okay, like what am I doing? In what time period, what is like my later list, and what needs to be done right now. And that has been so powerful, so pivotal. And I truly think because I was able to do that, it reminds me of the things that I need to be doing. And so I'm not procrastinating. I'm not, on my phone scrolling or doing a task that isn't as relevant. So I prepared a meal for my friends for my birthday, and I was really excited because I haven't hosted my friends in that caliber before. We got a new table a couple months ago, so it's like round, and I feel like a round table is just way better for conversations, way better for connection and sharing. And so I had a new table. I hung up a piece of artwork in our home. I'm so excited because I hardly ever hang anything on the walls. We're getting better at it. My house was spotless. It was so clean. And I wanted to have a couple friends over. I texted them. I was like, hey, I'm having this like super chill evening. I would love it if you could come. If not, completely understand. But I coordinated it, and I needed to cook a meal for them, right? So I decided on roasted tomatoes to make like a tomato sauce, and chicken. And I had asparagus, and I didn't even use the asparagus. I had cheeses. I made like a little charcuterie board. And I was able to pull down jams. I had peach jam from last year, blackberry jam from the previous year, and I didn't have any strawberry jam, but hopefully I will soon. And I like laid it all out, and I was cutting it, and I was also working on separating the conversation cards and working to get them all fitted so that we could do them during our dinner. All of my friends were from different areas of my life. And so it is quite crazy when you bring your friends from, one thing or another. Like Adriana, I had met during yoga teacher training, and Madison, I met during, a previous job. And Jenny, I'd met at a chamber of commerce event, and another one I had met at a brunch, and the other one at Cycle Bar. Like it was just crazy how all these women from different areas of my life, we were able to come together and share a meal. But when you're doing that, when you're mixing different groups, it's always nerve-wracking because you want them to connect. You want them to get along with one another. And I always want to prepare, right? Like just like I do for my Golden Gal meetups, I also wanted to do that for my friends because I love each one of them so very much. I wanted them to love each other just as much. So I had my conversation cards. I also made this like super cute. It said like, Logan's a teeny bit older, because that was my theme as martini, dirty martinis and espresso martinis. I did not realize that people celebrated like dirty 30 and had a martini themed party. Maybe I'm just a little ahead of the game, but I thought a teeny bit older was super, super cute. And so I did that. But on the back, it said, 2 truths, 1 lie, and then your favorite birthday memory. And it was so fun to hear all the girls share, their 2 truths and 1 lie, and to have everybody guess, because at this time we had spent 2 hours together already, and you share things, right? Like you talk and you conversate and you forget, like, oh gosh, like I told them one of my friends is moving to Spain. So she already told people she was moving to Spain. So you couldn't exactly like say, oh, I'm moving to Spain. Like, is that a truth or is that a lie? You know, because she had already shared that. And so it was kind of fun. We like dug really, really deep, went to some really cherished memories, and you could tell like everybody was just kind of excited. Like we get to talk obviously like to people, but we don't necessarily get to like dive deeper into conversations. We don't get to connect with a person on that deeper level. Sometimes it's just surface level. It's like, hey, how are you? How's your day going? But it's not necessarily like something deeper than that. And so when I was creating the little card, it was, you know, what is your favorite birthday memory? And it was fun. My favorite birthday memory, it was my golden birthday. I turned 8 and I had just got allergy testing done. I had been breaking out. We had a dogwood tree right next to the house, and the pollen and allergies, and I wasn't sleeping well. Like it was this whole debacle. And so I got allergy testing done. And at the time, I really wanted a guinea pig for my birthday. I had gotten guinea pig books. I was doing all the research. That was my favorite thing to do. I honestly do a lot of research before anything. Like I'll buy a book on the topic. I will like look it up. Back then, like especially as a kid, like I didn't have a phone. This was when I was 8, obviously. So I would get books and I'd read about it, and it was so exciting. And I wanted a guinea pig so bad. And when I got my testing done, I did it on my arms. So they like pricked me in different areas. And then if it had a reaction to it, I was allergic to it. So I ended up being allergic to quite a bit of things, honestly. At the time, I had a mild allergy to like eggs. I was allergic to grass, alfalfa, like definitely dogwood trees. And I was also allergic to guinea pigs. And this was devastating. Okay. I was not allergic to cows, which is great, but I was allergic to guinea pigs. And I remember just thinking, oh my gosh, like I'm so sad. I'm allergic to cats. I was allergic to rabbits. Like it was just, we had cats, we had rabbits, but I wanted a guinea pig so bad. And I remember asking my mom, I was like, please, like, can I please get a guinea pig? And she was like, no, you're allergic. You can't get one. So my birthday rolls around and I'm gifted this cage. Okay. And I'm opening the package and it's this wire cage. And I was like, okay. And I open the next package and it's guinea pig food. And I was ecstatic. I was like, I'm getting a guinea pig. Like, this is so exciting. And my mom was like, we got you everything else. You're going to have to get the guinea pig, like, with my birthday money, obviously. But I was like, okay, like I'll buy the guinea pig for myself. And so we went and we picked out a guinea pig. She was like blonde and had a ring of white fur around her neck. She was so cute. When we went to the pet store though, I remember my mom trying to talk me into like a gecko, and the lady there, she's like, yeah, they kind of bite sometimes, but like they'll grow out of it. And I remember not wanting an animal that would bite me. That's insane. But a guinea pig was pretty safe. I was just like a little allergic. I would break out in a rash. And I got my guinea pig, and I remember taking her home. I named her Sunny. She was so cute. And it was a great gift, and I was allergic. And I just remember my mom breaking the rules for me. Like, I wasn't going to go into anaphylactic shock. Like, I wasn't going to, need to go to the hospital. I would just get like a little bit of a rash. And at that time, like I knew I needed to put her down. I needed to do something else. And, that was fine. It wasn't a problem. But I remember getting a guinea pig and also embroidery thread. Like that was very, very exciting. Embroidery thread and pony beads. So they're like a fat bead with a big hole in the middle. And I remember like doing friendship bracelets, and I would sell friendship bracelets to the neighborhood. We lived on base, and I remember like walking to like my friend's house and being like 25 cents per bracelet, which is kind of high, honestly. And I sold my bracelets, and it was great and it was amazing. And that was like my first step into entrepreneurship, was these little pony embroidery threaded bracelets. It was so fun, right? Like, I don't know. Did anybody actually wear them? That is a question. I know I did. I thought it was great. I thought it was amazing. But to go around the circle and to hear everybody else's like favorite memories of their childhood and of their birthday, and it was different. Like, some was childhood, others was like their previous birthday, and I had so much fun. And it also, like, I'm just looking forward to more dinner parties, like to have more people come to my home and connect in a different level. I do love hosting, and I love the connection that it brings. And I can't wait for our patio furniture, literally. And also, like, to buy the little cushions for it, because it's just like wood. I found them on Facebook Marketplace. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's amazing. But it's going to be like this L shape, and I just envision myself, I'm going to be able to lay out there in the sun, soak it up, and have my laptop or get some work done or enjoy my little beverage outside. Like, it's going to be so fun. It's going to be so amazing. But I am looking forward to this summer. I'm looking forward to being 26 and experiencing everything that has to encompass it. And I guess, like, I am really grateful for 25. I think I was a little scared for 25. I feel like I was talking about it 6 months before it even happened. I was just like, okay, I'm going to be 25 this year. Like, it was a very like pivotal moment for me. And I just was a little bit scared. And now 26 kind of snuck up on me. And I am really happy to be 26, right? Like, I can't not be happy with 26, right? That's no way to live. But as I was actually like picking the strawberries on Sunday, I was going through the patch, and the first row that I did had already been picked through. So there wasn't that many strawberries. But the second field that I went through was it was a heavy row. Like, it was full. There were strawberries everywhere. So someone had already gone through it halfway, put their little flag, and then the other half like hadn't been picked. But I because like kids don't really pick that well, and even adults, like even me, like sometimes when you're picking you miss a berry because a leaf is covering it or whatever. So I decided I was gonna recheck what they did, pick if I could, and if not, I'll get to the flag and then continue picking on. And as I was like going through the strawberries, I was like, all right, I was kind of being like very not picky. It was the opposite of picky. I was being lax. I was like, oh, like this one's probably ripe. This one looks good, because the row that I had just been through was scarce. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? It was scarce. It was like there wasn't as many berries in that row. I probably got 5 or 8 berries, and out of the whole row, like that's a whole big row. And I ended up, I switched to a different row, and as I'm walking through, I was like, how could these people leave these? Like, these are good ones, right? Like, I'm like, that one's probably ripe. That's just probably ripe. They were red, right? In comparison to the other row that had a bunch of green berries. And I'm like going through it, just trying to pick them, trying to make sure that I'm pulling off the ones. And then I get to the flag, and I realize past the flag are better berries. And essentially, the people who had gone and put their flag in had gone through the berries that I just went through, and they took the better berries. They took the best berries, as you should, right? And I was left with like the little ones. And I didn't realize until I had gotten to the next flag that there was more to come. Like, there was better things past the flag, and I didn't have to pick the berries that weren't quite ripe. And sometimes we need the time to develop. We need the time to be on the vine a little bit longer so that we're able to be like this fresh, juicy berry. And by the time I get to the flag, I didn't have my box anywhere near fields. But I was like, gosh, like here I've wasted some of my space because of course I can't like throw them out, right? I felt like I had wasted some of my space in my box that could have held riper berries. And so for me, I'm like, okay, maybe I needed the time to get where I'm at to develop and to, lay out in the sun a little bit longer, and that's okay. So I'm looking forward to the upcoming year and everything that 26 has to offer. And, good things to come, better berries ahead. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. If you haven't already, please give us a 5-star rating wherever you listen. And if you're watching on YouTube, please rate, subscribe, and follow all of the things. I truly appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.